we're talking about The Black Witch by Lori Foster. Okay, so Andrea and I have both read this, but Liz and Kelly haven't. So it's going to be a completely spoiler-free review. But Kelly, or Liz, have you heard much about this book? Have you seen it on social or anything?
Just what you guys say.
Yeah. I actually got it because Sarah Moss recommended it on TV, which is why I ordered it.
I will read anything Sarah Moss recommends. Honestly, I hope you guys feel special because I'm 75 pages from the end of Kingdom of Ash, and it was super hard for me to call in because we're right in the middle of a big battle, and I don't know how it's going to end, and I'm like freaking out. I texted Andrea yesterday because I cried for the first time in the whole series.
Yeah.
I was like, shook my whole desk. I was like, Anne, I'm crying.
I haven't finished that one, so I'm a little worried about my favorite characters. Like, I hope that they're okay.
Who's your favorite?
I hope that they're okay.
I'm blanking on her name because I've read a lot of books since that series, but the one who can turn into dragons and turn into other things.
Oh God, what is her name?
Liz is holding her eyebrows down.
Lysandra.
I like her probably the most. She's one of my favorite characters. So.
Oh, that's like her, like Diana and other books too.
I like weird people. I think. Okay, so anyways, The Black Witch. It's honestly a really large first book in my opinion. It's like 580 plus pages, but I loved it. I didn't think it dragged on at all. So without giving too much away, I'll give you a brief setting of what the book's about. So Elloren is living in the forest with her uncle and her two brothers. And she had a really powerful grandma called the Black Witch. And then her parents died in the war. So she's living out in the like BFE with her uncle. And then she's basically getting older, and instead of being wand fasted, which is basically like married off, she wants to go to the university. And so there's one university in the land. And it's a time of a lot of discrimination. And so like the main people who are like in control right now are called Gardarians. And there are also like elves and then fae and like all these other different types of people, but it's like the classes are very segregated. But the people who own the university or who like manage that land want to do more with, or want to be very inclusive. And so all different types of beings or people go to this university. So Elloren gets sent there, or she goes there because thankfully her uncle helps her, and then her aunt is in the picture too. Her aunt is actually like high up on the council of the Gardarians, but it's a time where like men are very dominant and women aren't as much so. So the fact that her grandma's on the council is kind of a big deal. She has a lot of say for being a woman. So Elloren goes to the university and, you know, meets people. A lot of people of the other types of beings don't actually like her because she looks a lot like her grandma. And so she runs into a lot of hostility from all the other like elves and kelts and everything else because her grandma actually like killed a lot of them during the war. So I don't think that's a spoiler. Mm-hmm. So she's running into a lot of hostility there, having trouble making friends. Her brothers are thankfully there. And so the book is really about her kind of becoming her own person and diving into her history to find out what's true and what's not. Question, answer, go.
How many brothers does she have?
She has two brothers, and then they have a really close friend named Gareth. And so he kind of grew up with them, but he is a Gardanian. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but he's a Gardanian, but he is like, all the Gardanians have black hair and green eyes. Kelly, you would love them. You'd fit right in. Maybe that's who you'd be.
Yeah, Kelly is a Gardnerian.
You're also quite bitchy.
Oh, I found my people.
You did. So Gareth has black hair and like green eyes, but he has silver tips on the end of his hair. So a lot of people look down on him and like won't talk to him and like scuff because they say he's like basically a mixed breed. So it's that kind of strict on like you stick within your class and whatnot. But I will say at the university, the Gardnerians, their type of magic, they have wands. So like their magic is funneled out by using wands, and there's like level 1s up to level 5. But the main girl in here, Elloren, doesn't have magic. So she's a level 1. Yeah.
I have more questions. How old is Elloren?
I think she's 18. She's 17 or 18.
I think she's 18.
Yeah, she's
About that a lot because she's not wand fasted to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So other question is like, what kind of time period world is this set in? Like, is it like Harry Potter where are there like phones and stuff? Or is it like medieval?
There's not phones. They do send notes with hawks, like Harry Potter.
And I should show you that. I would say if you read Clockwork Angel, I would say it's that kind of time period to where it's a little bit colonial. Like they would take like and like stone buildings, cathedrals. Think of that and like kind of that time period. Also like Peter Pan, which is probably a very weird comparison, but like like the top hats, London.
Yeah.
Time. Are there like normal humans and stuff too, or is this like only like is it like set completely outside of like our world?
Completely out. There's no such thing as just like a normal human. There are wolves though in it, the lupine, and they're really cool. They can shape shift. Yeah, but no.
Are they like werewolves? Why are you guys smirking? There's something going on with the werewolves. I see smirking.
That's where the guy from Harry Potter got his name, Mr. Lupine.
Oh. J.K. Rowling was very clever with the names in Harry Potter. Like the joke with Sirius Black is like his name literally means black dog. Like he's an animagus and he has a black dog. That's what his name literally means.
I like that. So overall, I would rate the book. I just finished it 2 days ago and I'm already on the second. I would rate the first book an A-. I would read it again because I think I would pick up on even more. The writing was phenomenal. The description of the land and like everything, the writing's very good in my opinion. And this is the first book I've read by her, but I definitely like looked up other books she had read because I thought that I really like her style of literature. The only thing I don't like about this book is that I will say Elloren, though she's a strong character, a strong main character, she cries a lot and it drives me crazy. She'll just be talking to someone and she'll burst out in tears and I'm like, hold it together. Like
she's like the Shadow and Bone girl. I'm like, oh my God.
But I do have high hopes for her in this series. I think they're playing it this way because of the person she's supposed to become. So I'm like, okay, I can deal with you crying so much in book 1 as long as it doesn't continue in book 2.
Yeah, book 2 is better. I think they get better as they go on.
How would you rate book 1, Andrea?
I would give it an A- too. A- B+. It was really good, but not as good as second and third.
Well, I haven't read them yet, but I'll keep you updated on that. I'm sure I'll agree, though. I agree with everything else. I will say this is one of the first series since Throne of Glass. Liz just didn't like our review. She was like...
I thought she was just sitting really still. I was like, is she froze or is she still? She's froze.
I will say that this is one of the first series since Throne of Glass that I've like can't put down. Like I read at night.
Yep.
And I finished the book in probably a week and a half. After I like got through the first like 150 pages, I just crammed the rest out.
I read them all in like 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. I just got the like extra one today in the mail.
The novella.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there are 4 books. Liz, you know about this.
There's 5.
Yeah. There's
There's 2
4.
novellas and 3 regular books, and then 1 coming out in March.
Which is the last actual book of the series, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I missed it. Did Andrea rate?
Yes.
What's your rating?
A-, B+.
I like it. So if you guys could rate it, first ACOTAR book, Black Witch, and first Throne of Glass book, how would they go?
I honestly liked this first book better than Throne of Glass first book.
I
Because
agree.
yeah, it has a lot of elements that and like people who come into play, and it's more of a story, whereas I think the first Throne of Glass book was really just setting up for the rest of the series.
And it was kind of different than the rest of the series. Like this one more, like that one, they're in a tournament. It was kind of weird. I definitely think ACOTAR is probably my favorite. So I go ACOTAR, Black Witch, Throne of Glass.
Is that the same for you, Madeline?
I would probably go Black Witch, ACOTAR, Throne of Glass. I know.
What?
This beat ACOTAR?
I feel like I'm basing this solely on the first book.
Okay.
Knowing what I know about ACOTAR, how it develops and whatnot, I just really liked how this book, the first one, was like a really powerful story, and it brought everyone else in, and like the main characters, Elloren's like her mindset and her character, how it even just evolves over the first book. I think I was more captivated than I was in the first like Court of Thorns and Roses.
Because both those first books are completely different than how the series goes.
Mm-hmm.
Some really big changes to what the characters do.
Mm-hmm. I really, close to, I mean, I would rate both of them A's for sure, but I think this one just had a little bit more substance in the first book.
I'm excited.
So there you have it. Go read it. Order it now. Have Andrea ship you her copy. Super good.